Hey folks, my name is Tom Vassell, and today we're going to be taking a look at Quadropolis, published by Days of Wonder and designed by Francois Gandin. And this is a 2 to 4 player city building game. Let's take a look. Quadropolis has the typical Days of Wonder production. Inside are some double-sided boards for a basic and an advanced game, a large tile board, and then everything else nice and neatly organized. Not only is it organized so that you can fit it all in here, but that you can pull them out for each era of the game. Over the course of the 4 rounds of Quadropolis, players are attempting to get these tiles and place them into their own city. Players are going to do that by using architects. Each player has architects numbered from 1 to 4 and are going to be placing them in turn order around the board. When an architect is placed somewhere, they're going to count the number of tiles over, and that is the tile that you are going to get. Once that happens, you're going to place an urbanist piece there, and the next player to go can put their tile anywhere on the board except for either here, or they can't put it pointing directly at the urbanist. While they could place it here, for example, and take the third tile, since the number 3 is on this architect. This will continue on as players place these tiles around the board, taking tiles and adding them to their own board. As players take tiles from the main board, they're going to be placing them on their own player boards, and they're going to look at the architect that they use. So if they use a number 1 architect to take the tile, then that tile must go in either column 1, row 1. And so they can place it anywhere in there. Each tile that they place down is going to provide them with resources. So this one would provide them with 1 citizen, but it also requires an energy resource for this one to be run. So as players add the buildings to their city, they will have a pool of resources to the side of the board, and they can place and rearrange these resources anytime they need to power their buildings. Some buildings even provide a player with the start marker, which allows that player to place their architect first in the following round. And as the game goes by, players are going to be slowly building up their cities. At the end of the game, players are going to score for the different buildings, but each building that is not powered will not get them any points. So you need to have the power thing, and again, you can switch these around over the course of the game, and extra ones that you have are going to lose you points. Although some extra people can go into the different stores, and each park that you put out can basically suck up 1 energy that's in the game, but the rest of them will lose you points. At the end of the game, based on each type of building, they're going to score differently, and players will be adding their score together. A score sheet is included so that you can keep track more easily of how many points you get for each type of building. Residential buildings are going to score based on the height of each of those buildings. Parks are going to score based on how many residential buildings they are next to. Commercial buildings are going to score based on how many people are placed in each one. Factories are going to score based on whether they are next to harbor or residential areas. Civic places are going to score based on if you have them in all 4 quadrants of the board. And harbors are going to score based on how many you have in a row or column. Other buildings can get bonus points that are printed directly on the tile. And whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. The advanced variant of the game is played pretty much the exact same way, except players will be using a communal group of architects that go up through number 5, have essentially 5 different sections of the city, and have some new types of buildings, including office buildings which have a height and an area, and special buildings which can score points based on where they're placed. Several things help Quadropolis stand out. One is the artwork, which is going to appeal to those who like the bright and cheerful artwork of a computer app. There is also high quality components that really stand out and are very durable when played. The game scales very well. At the beginning of each of the rounds, players will place all the tiles on the board, and then they will not turn over any tile that doesn't show a number they're playing with. So in this case, this 4 tile will not be turned over in a 3-player game, and all the rest would be turned over, thus ensuring the proper number of tiles is turned over for each number of players. Quadropolis offers a lot of good strategic options, as you have to decide which architect to use to get a certain piece, and in doing so, move the urbanist to a spot where maybe it will block somebody else. There is interaction as you take tiles that other players want, as you decide which of the scoring methods you think will get you the most points, since no player can do well in all of the different areas. And then how will you place these on your own player board. Quadropolis takes 30 to 45 minutes, plays equally well from 2 to 4 players, and is highly recommended by the Dice Tower.